Cannot believe that the freaking heat can wear you out like that. My gosh. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So, you saw the title of this lovely story involving a, you know, family, a family that were getting messed with by people with power. I'll just put it like that. Okay. So, in Indonesia in 1986, uh, there's a lady called Mama Rose. That's what everybody called her, Mama Rose. Very sweet lady. Um, she realized that making it as working as a waitress, because she came from Jakarta to work in the red light district, and you know, being a waitress wasn't going to give her enough money to send back home. And so she's a businesswoman. She, you know, ran her pockets up with what she could, tip wise, and opened up her own brothel. Okay. Happy Home. Okay. Happy Home. And it is right down the street from the barracks of a Navy, their Navy. Okay. So she started beginning, she started to get flushed with the whole bunch of money. Okay. And that's when one of her regular customers that came in there, he was like, let's be partners. You know, what did she need to be partners with him? You know what I mean? If I could ask Mama Rose one fucking question, it's like you built the first business by yourself. You know, by yourself. You didn't need that, that dude for anything. I mean, I'll never understand that, and then none of this would have happened. Or we'll see. We'll see. So, business is doing good. She starts selling alcohol and put a jukebox in there, and she got it. She got it pumped. Popular joint for everybody to go. It was the go-to spot, right? And all of a sudden, the regular that we're talking about is a colonel um, of the Navy. All right. So he's like, open another brothel, but uh, me and you will be partners. Okay. And I want 150 million rupees, each month in my account. You can do what you want to do. Mama Rose, okay, okay. So she then went and ran the new spot. You know, um, COVID drove a lot of people, not to her freaking brothel that, everybody was banned from pretty much going outside or anything. So, yeah, they were, getting in debt with her partner. You know what I mean? See, this is why she didn't need him. She didn't need him for nothing. She did everything by herself, anyways. But he uh, would go and beat on this older woman, beat her. We're talking about a big Navy, you know, guy. Beat on her and then beat on her sickly older husband as well, you know. And he's like, well, you know what? To settle the debt, give me your 15-year-old daughter, and you know, that'll settle your debt that you owe me. And she was like, my daughter? What are you talking about? She's still in middle school. No, give me your daughter, or I can have it raided. I can have the police here. This, and which he did. He did just to mess with her. He would call in raids on a business that he owned half of. He owned half of it, but he was obsessed with this young. girl, this 15-year-old. He's married with 2 kids himself, but it was something about the 15-year-old little girl that he could not drop it. So feeling scared for herself and for her daughter even more, she uh, introduces her daughter to a young new uh, policeman. Okay, thinking he's a police officer. She'll be safe marrying him, and he won't go over and mess with him because that's a police officer, right? Wrong, wrong. The attacks stepped up even more. It stepped up even more. Slapping them. Just occasionally coming into the shop and decking them and this and that. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So she was like, yeah, it's something we're going to have to do because the debt is getting so high with this guy. And, he's on my neck about, this debt. It goes up every time. I forget, but it was a ridiculous amount of interest that he would put on the debt because he just wanted that daughter. He just wanted the daughter. So she gets her new son in law, which, is a police officer, and she gets her son, she gets her husband, and they all walk over to his house, the colonel's house. He thinks it's a regular visit. They knock, they come in and commenced to whooping that ass. They whooped him everywhere around that house. They whooped his ass. He deserved every bit of it, every damn bit of it. His boys were outside playing, and so they didn't see anything or hear anything. And the wife the whole time is in the kitchen cleaning. You know, I guess she was like, "Oh well, let him get his ass beat." I'm sure he was a womanizer, to towards his wife as well. The way you would walk up to an older woman and punch her in the stomach. Yeah, you're probably doing that to your wife. And she was like, "Yeah, get him." But so they beat him to death, literally. Like his whole body was covered. His whole body was a bruise. Is what the autopsy said. His whole body was a bruise. And then, well, the children are going to be a problem, and the wife is going to be a problem. They'll tell on us, you know, bow, 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 whole family up out of there, pulled up in their car, they're like suburban, and put the bodies in there, and set them next to a ravine, and went on about their day, like cold blooded. But like she wasn't playing about her 15-year-old. She was not playing. And of course, right away, like the next day, the bodies are found in this truck. He is a colonel at that Navy, so someone was bound to go looking for him. She didn't think that one through too much. And they, everybody knew about the feuding with the colonel and the family, so they were immediately arrested at 89. Okay, Mama Rose gets death sentence. Her son gets the death sentence. Her son-in-law gets the death sentence, and so does her older husband. Okay, but before he could get shot, the husband had a heart attack, and you know he's gone. He was gone before they could shoot him down. Hey, my love. Hey, hey, hey. How are you? So then, so then it was no. The first to die was her son-in-law. It was the police officer. He died, and then in the middle of all of that, her husband had a heart attack. He died in 2001, and July 17th of 2008 is when it was just herself and her older son that hadn't, been killed yet. And they got a chance to, say goodbye to each other, and she is so sad. She said, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have involved you in this. I'm so sorry." She was heartbroken, making little baby dolls and stuff like that. You know, she was just hot headed about her little girl, and you know, the police are crooked as hell down there. So you know what I mean. She took things into her own hands. You know, only way she could. Good, good. Is it burning up where you are? Okay, so the son and Mama Rose walk out together. They have a piece of black tape on their heart, so the marksmen's, you know, they know where to shoot. Okay, and they took him out into the woods and took him up out of here. Took him up out of here. But I will never understand. Like, I mean, they have the other two kids. You know, like the 15-year-old girl who it was all about. She must feel guilty as hell. All her family's dead behind. You know, someone wanting to be with her. Heck yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Like I mean, it's making me sick. It's making me sick. It's so hot. And then yeah, she had her son that was that was had mental problems. That didn't help his case at all. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? He quit school, and you know, hopefully he's doing, you know, better. But those two siblings are all each other have now. You know, their whole family by destroying the bully's family. She killed her whole family. You know, think about that. Think about that. And I think in those last moments when she apologized to her son, I think she did think about that. You know, by destroying his family, you know, I in turn fucked our family up. You know, can't take things like that back. You can't take it back. That's why, you know, if you get heated, if you're a heated person like I am, it's best to just don't say nothing, walk off, you know, get calmed down, and then have the conversation, you know, because I act on, you know, my 0 to 100. Just it just is what it is. I have to be honest. It is what it is. But that's a very very sad story to me. I mean, her new husband, the 15-year-old. Remember, she had just married that the little police officer, the one that got killed first. You know, that got the death penalty first. Yeah. So she's dealing with a lot of emotion. Her, you know, my new husband is dead. My mom, my dad. You know, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm a little orphan. You know, but I mean, at least the family had money. You know, she made sure of that. They had money, so her and her brother should be okay in that respect. But nothing good comes out of deals like that. She didn't need the partnership. But I think if she would have turned it down, he would have been calling in raids on her brothel like he ended up doing. You know, if he would do it and it was half his, he would have done it had she turned him down, definitely. You know, flipping the place upside down. Like, and nobody's going to want to come there. You know, men are men are sneaking in the back door because they have wives and shit. You know what I mean? They're there to have a, you know, good time and not be in the newspaper the next fucking morning. You know, so yeah, he was fucking himself, but he didn't care because it was all about, hey, sell me your daughter. I don't care if I'm married. I don't care about that. A kid. I mean, that's what we're talking about. 15-year-old is a kid. A kid. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. But y'all taking the same route. Hell yeah, I know I would have. But I would have done it better. I would have done it. Yeah. Too many people. She involved too many people. All of that. Yeah. They would have had his ding dong would have been in his mouth when they found him. That would have been my signature. That would have been my signature. Don't you ever touch my damn daughter. That would have been my signature. But yeah, tell me what you think about that story. I mean, is Mommy Rose wrong? You know? That dude was a big ass bully. You know, a bunch of stuff came out about what he was doing, extorting other businesses and shit as well. He was her extortioner. You know. Anyways, he wasn't no. You know, he didn't come in there and help her run the place or anything like that. He's just like, hey, here's my routing number. You know, and my bank account info. You know, just wire me those millions and you won't get raided and stuff. Extortion, you know, extortion. I would have still said no. I'd have said no. She would have done better by saying no and staying in her old building, you know, home sweet home. But you know, we don't always think about that, especially when it comes to our loved ones. Okay, fiends and ghouls, I'm gonna let you go. I'm fixing to try to make some lemonade or something because I am thirsty for something and I don't know what it is. Maybe a Hawaiian punch, maybe, oh, a Tahitian treat. Oh, that sounds, oh my God. Tahitian treat. Oh, yeah. Y'all go make y'all a good cold glass of whatever you like. And I might be back on a little bit later tonight. Okay.